The following announcement has been paid for by the Mike World Order. And now, live in my little studio, welcome to episode 3 on season 6 of the Mike Cook Guys podcast. Yes, I am Mike Cook, your current IWGP Intercontinental title holder. And, it's been about a few weeks since we done an episode. And once again, we're going live on Facebook for those who end up listening to the podcast. Sorry you couldn't make it for the live viewing. I see a lot of people are asking questions right now. I know we got like belt suppliers, we got people like Paul Tarango, hey, thanks for hopping on. But a lot of people have some questions lately about some recent actions that happened recently. So, for starters, I recently, I no longer work 3 jobs. I ended up giving up my job at the Big and Tall store, which name I do not plan on asking because the corporate side of it can kiss my ass. You heard that right, they can kiss my ass. So, about 2 weeks ago, new management came in, and one of the things I don't like is I don't like my name being lied on, and I tell people quick, keep my name out of your mouth. But this guy, who was going to be the new manager of the store, this cream puff, and if I wanted to on my best day, I could just right hand him like I'm Shingo Takagi. And it wouldn't be worth it because I've seen females like, the other half of Team Little Big that was recently started. It wouldn't have been worth it. So when I showed up to drop off the key, I told the guy in his face, "Sir, I just want to give you my key." Brian told me everything, a.k.a. Mr. Espinoza. He told me all that happened. And he was trying to cut me off being an asshole. And I told him, "Hey, let me finish." I said, "You don't know me and you don't know where I'm from. Keep my name out of your mouth because I have no reason to steal and lie from this company. If anything, I've been very loyal to this company who has been underpaying me. You cut my commission and I'm supposed to lay there and be like, oh, okay. And just let things happen." So I ended up telling him, keep my name out of your mouth. Otherwise, you'll find out why they call Woodbridge Hood Bridge, which to this day, I still don't see how people consider it the hood. But this being Northern Virginia, and a lot of people are very bougie, I get it, They're not used to that, which means most of y'all would not last a week in South Carolina. But that's cool. That's cool. And it was just one of those things that I was cool about it. I tried to be cool about it. You fired my best friend and, ran down his name like he was a dog. And because of how you treat the people that, are there, It's like a stack of dominoes. When you get rid of one, everybody leaves too. He left. I left. The other two coworkers left. How you treat your employees, they won't give a fuck. They will leave. They will leave out of loyalty of how good you treat them. And the way that the new commission system was, a stripper for a 5-minute lap dance made more off of that than what I was making every 2 weeks at this big and tall store. So that tells you right there, I can work 2 hours at my regular job overtime, and it's more than what they were giving me. So if anyone forward this to upper management over at, well, I can't name the place, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Please let them know I want to give them one plus size, heavyweight fitted, extra cut, extra stitched. Fuck you. Now that I got that out of my system, how's everybody doing? Everybody's doing good. You know, some other stuff been going on. So I noticed when I did the last episode, my origin of love of Latin women, I noticed that there was an increase of Hispanic women that added me on Facebook, and that was awesome. I'm like, cool. That's pretty cool. And yeah, thank you for the support. I ended up getting more subscribers over the weekend at my weekend job. So, you know, it's just one of those things where the support continues. And I see one half of Team Little Big just sent me a message. You better get on Facebook so you can see what's going on. Or, you know, it's just one of those things where shit happens, but you move on. And it was at that point, not even 2 weeks before the me quitting happened, I ended up like having this worse mental breakdown because I'm working my body to the ground, and you know, it just wasn't fun. I didn't have that drive I used to have, you know, because I'm doing all these extra things. I'm not enjoying life. And now that I've left this job, I can go back to enjoying life. I'm picking up on lost time. So guys, if you're not doing anything during the evening, on the weekends or the weekdays, if I'm not at the gym, hit me up, you know, within reason. Because I got to keep, you know, I got a budget now. And that's cool. I was doing that before. Like, I ain't had to spend money now because I'm cooking at home. And whereas before, I'd had to pick up something to eat because I'm too tired to cook when I get home. You know, that's not fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for anyone else. I need to go ahead and like get married, like straight up, or get booed up or something, or do some extra stuff. And I see one half of Team Little Big hopped on, my buddy Nirvana, aka 5 Feet of Fury. And it's crazy. She's been someone that while I was when I was out during those few days of trying to recover mentally, you know, we were chatting and all that. And man, it's crazy how the things we had in common, you know, from certain wrestlers to TV shows to today music, you know, it is like awesome. So, you know, I'm sure she's listening right now and getting big-headed from it, and that's cool. Because literally, I wouldn't mess with this woman on a bad day because she does jiu-jitsu, you know? Also, yeah. So what else do we got going on? There will be a contest for the month of June. So a lot of people found out about Cartoon Mike and the whole MWO t-shirt. So we're going to do something like a t-shirt giveaway. I'm going to give away a free MWO t-shirt or a Cartoon Mike t-shirt or the club t-shirt. It's simple. You got to continue listening to this podcast. You must be a Facebook friend, which obviously if you're watching this live feed and at the same time or listening to this podcast once it gets edited. And also if you're a fan on Instagram, you have to pretty much qualify for all three. You have to be a subscriber on YouTube and, so that's pretty much all that's, going on. So we're going to be doing that. I'm going to be getting involved in a lot more things because, hell, I got the time for it now. And that was the crazy part. When I went home after I left back to the apartment, I'm not used to coming home and it's still daylight. It like blows my mind. Like I would go to the gym, and after I get off the gym, it just blows my mind. By the time I get home, there's still daylight. It's like, hold up, it's 7 o'clock, and I still got all this free time. What I'm going to do? I've been going bonkers. You know what I'm saying? So it's madness. It is madness. But since we got a couple of people on, I see one of them. We're gonna do a quick Q&A on the pod, which will be on the podcast also. If you have random questions right now, you should speak now or forever hold your peace. If not, I'm going to move on to other situations going on too. So, we got the live Q&A going on during this podcast. And as that's going on, I'm just going to mention like a few other things. Let's see, random tidbits. Okay, within the 2 weeks of being free and going to the gym and eating at home, I've been able to drop back down to my 3XL linen pants. Only problem is, when you wear linen pants, they're hard to take care of. Like, you can wash them, like, obviously. But in terms of the ironing aspect, it's too much work. I had to take them and go get steamed or something. And I'm yawning, which is a first, because I've been getting plenty of rest. Because now I'm at that point where I'm an old man now. 31 and I'm an old man. So that's what makes it interesting. And I see another friend of mine just hopped on. And it's funny, like earlier I was giving her a hard time because I almost got stung by a bee. Just to, I guess change her mood. Like, I could be wrong. Like, I know, we talked about situations and I just see it every time where she always look like she's either sad or mad or grumpy. Like, girl, smile. So hopefully what I did for you today helped change that, And now I see we got another one that just hopped on. What up? You just hopped on for the Q&A. There's a live Q&A. If you have questions, pop in and ask. And while doing that, I'm going to, throw out my sponsors, my official sponsors of the podcast that keeps this thing going. First off, shout out to Iron Mike's Championship belts. If you like having custom like this, I know a lot of y'all kept mentioning how awesome my IWGP belt is. If you want one, my Iron Mike Bryce is the guy to go to. He's on my Facebook friends list if you're interested. Hey, I see one guy saying, yo, I don't mention names because of the podcast because some of y'all might feel some type of way and y'all want to go FCC on me. Let's see. But we'll get to that later. First question, what future podcast do I want to do? I would like to do an episode of a podcast where I can say I'm no longer a single man. I I'm at that point now to where I just want a good woman, you know. Even if it's companionship, I'm cool with that. And let's see, next question. You remember me from Robert Smalls? Yes, I remember you from Robert Smalls. But like I said, because of FCC rules, I can't say your real name, so I'm going to call you the drummer of the hour. Yes, I remember you because, man, the way you can hit that drum. I remember one time you did one of your samples, and later on that night at the gym, I kept hearing like the rhythm of the sample that you were doing on your drums as I was doing incline bench. And I was doing that same rhythm like boom, 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 boom. And believe it or not, it actually helped me increase my bench by another 20 pounds. So thank you, drummer by the hour. Next question, which we don't have yet. So until we get the next question, next sponsor, Victoria Lee. She has her wine company. She does wine parties. She sells wine. She's a vendor. My favorite one is the regular and the blonde facadas. I ended up buying like 9 of them after one of her parties. They were that good. And the cool part about it is shipping is a straight price, whether you buy 1 or 10. So they don't do shipping based on how it's weighed. It does one straight price, and it's so worth it. It's time for me to restock because it's starting to get warm, and you know what they say, stay cool, drink more. What did I think of Double or Nothing? Few things that came to mind with Double or Nothing. First off, the over-budget battle royal. I was a bit iffy seeing a wrestler with no legs wrestle. I mean, I'm cool for that, but it just, like, how can you really, if you're a wrestler, sell that psychology-wise? Like, you couldn't expect someone like, I don't know, a Barry Windham-sized fella to sell, you know, to someone like that. Maybe someone who's like Matt Sydal size or the Young Bucks. But, you know, maybe Kenny Omega, because I've seen matches where he's jobbed the little girls, you know. You never know. I love the match with Jericho and Omega. Dustin versus Cody was awesome. But I hate to say it, a lot of people give me a lot of shit for it. My favorite match of the night was SCU versus Strong Hearts. And for those who don't know who Strong Hearts is, that's the pretty much the Japanese faction in the Oriental Wrestling Entertainment in China, which is pretty much wrestlers from Dragon Gate, Sema, El Lindaman, T-Hawk, what's one of them? Yamamura-san. And recently they acquired Seki Yoshioka from Wrestle One, which I've grown a liking to him, and recently his heel turn joining Strong Hearts showed. And it's weird seeing him opposite side Wrestle One. Even though he's still Wrestle One, he just represents Strong Hearts. But I thought that match was, to me, the opener to start it off, because if you really want to start a pay-per-view off right, start it with a 6-man or an 8-man to get the crowd going. Or, how some promotions have been doing it, a battle royal type thing. That will get the crowd going. That will get everyone warmed up, because you got to break the ice. And, you know, I've watched that on a lot of live shows that they'll do that. The days of an opening match. Yeah, and it's crazy. Around this time last year, I saw Christopher Daniels live in person, sitting at the second row. And I got to tell you, that man's drinking the fountain of youth. Like, I know they say black don't crack and, you know, brown don't frown. you know, he's got to have something in his system other than being a white guy. You know, because he's something else. It's amazing how, you know, that is. But yeah, it was a pretty good show. I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for All Out in Chicago. And I'm like debating on going to the show in Jacksonville because, you know, you never know. You always have a hot match opening pay-per-views. That is true. That's like a must, whether it's pro wrestling, MMA. You always want to have your hot match first and your hot match last, because that's what's going to keep the butts in the seats, you know. And I learned that going to TV tapings as well. And I also want to mention that coming soon there will be a third vendor / sponsor on the Mike Good Guys podcast. We will announce it on the next episode, which makes that 3 for 3, which is a first, you know. Makes that a big first. So, oh gosh, I had a cough. Voice is getting so raspy, it's not even funny. That's part of the aging process, man. That's one thing I love about doing this podcast on this new dimension of going live, and then also in its original format posting this on YouTube, because people are going to be like, what the hell were you thinking, coughing and all that, and why does it seem like you're rambling and jumbling? Well, guess what? Consider my podcast like Cobra Kai to Karate Kid, okay? Strike fast, strike hard, no mercy, Cobra Kai. Or in my case, Cobra Cook. Which is crazy because I don't like snakes. Don't like them at all. Tastes good on a burrito. Don't like them. But I see people now trying to respond to I guess the last Facebook post. Like, you guys know I'm live right now. Don't look at the Facebook post saying that I'm going live. Just go straight to the link. That's all you got to do. Just be a good brother and go straight to the link. It's not that hard. Follow the guy with the championship belt. I know it's real, isn't it? That's not plastic. That's all real. For those who like to say, man, your belt's fake. Your belt is so fake. So when do I plan on tying the not future brother-in-law? That's a good question. Whenever your sister answers her messages. I got sent like 2 already. You know, I pretty much told her, I said, please, Sarah, I want to be your man. I will fly all the way out to California for your love. For your love and your happiness and all those things. You look like Nikki Bella. Because that's like one of my top 3 ideal wives. Someone like a Nikki Bella or a Gina Rodriguez, or, you know, even a Paula Patton. And everyone, like last night I was talking to Mr. Toloza. He was like, Paula Patton. He's like, I'm starting to wonder, you like these masculine type women. I was like, fuck you, dog. Like, I just realized you just low-key ragged on me because I mentioned, like, certain type of women I like because of their features. Like, you know, I like fitness women. At one point, I liked females who were not the super bodybuilder type, but, you know, they were thick, bulk muscle, but they were still cute. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. There's a big difference. But nah, nobody believes that when I say that. They're like, you just like the big old muscle women, like the ones that are gonna bear hug you and be like, let me go tell you about where I've been, let me tell you about what I've seen. Nah. Nah. I do like my women feminine too. Oh, man. This has been, and it's crazy. We're already 25 minutes in this episode, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how quick this episode's gotten, man. Like, I feel like I could probably go another 20 to 30 minutes if I wanted to. But we all know that's not going to happen. You know, I try to keep it long enough to keep you guys, you know, doing good. Yeah, you damn right. Pimp Squad for the win. Like, I associate myself in so many hashtags. You got hashtag MWO. You got hashtag Zoo Squad. Hashtag the club. Hashtag Pimp Squad. Hashtag Team Big Little. Team Little Big, or whichever it's called. Man, that's too many. But I make time for all of them. Like, that's what I was telling this one female. It's like, yeah, I live a busy life, but I like to make time for the things I want to do. And now that I have more free time, I get to do that even more and be more quality assured by it, rather than just giving you my word and it's a 50-50 chance you might get disappointed. And it's funny because, like, last night I was watching this documentary that Triple H did on the WWE Network, and he pretty much said, you know, and he was right on point. You know, a lot of people talk about balance and, you know, things like that, and it's basically a myth. Like, in order to do what you need to do and juggle so many things, you pretty much have to do the best that you can at what you do. And pretty much trying to separate yourself in all different categories. Like, when, like, Mike's at work, you got work Mike goes to work and he works. And when you got Mike when he's doing the podcast Mike's going on. When you got Mike want to be romantic and spend time with that special someone, then guess what? Mike gets to do that whenever that happens. But which I also want to add, I also want to point out to a certain little sister of mine. We were at Two Silos last Friday. You tried to bust me out when I was trying to, like, spit my game on, like, trying to, you know, doing my thing, trying to look cool with people, you know, trying to network, shaboom. You had to bust me out. That is not cool. That is not cool at all. But it was still funny, though. I mean, all it did was make me look even better. Trying to make me look dumb, you just made me look better. You failed at embarrassing me. And on that note, we got Mr. Ricky Steamboat that just hopped on. Literally, this guy looks like a resemblance to Ricky Steamboat. Eventually, I'd like to get him on the podcast, too. You know, he's had a rough 2018, and I think, you know, him hopping on the podcast, he can get that closure he needs to where, hey, this, and that. Hey, baby, hit me up. Find him some cute women, because he's still in his prime, you know. Ladies, if you're out there and you want his information, let me know. His code name is Ricky Steamboat, for obvious reasons, you know. He's called Ricky Steamboat for a reason. Other than the obvious. Yo, you just sent a message. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the double broadcast, you could say, because it's, you know, this is going to be on the podcast. All that's going on live and uncut, uncensored, and in one take. So any botches that go on, guess what? We're not editing it out. What you hear is what you get. And in that case, what you see is what you get. So that's what makes it unique. Because everyone wants to be a perfectionist and edit the whole thing. I'm not going to do that. Because if I'm not perfect, why am I going to sugarcoat something to be perfect? You're damn right I'm a fool. But you know what? I'm the coolest person you ever met. I'm the baddest guy you ever met. And I make everyone laugh and joke without them saying, oh, you're a fool. No, I'm just me. And the reason why people are quick to say you're being a fool is because I'm something different to these people. I'm something different, as Bobby with your brain Heenan, God rest his soul, would say to you humanoids. So, yeah. I like to consider myself a very different, eccentric person. You know, I'm everybody's brother from another. I'm the loyalest friend you ever meet. And sometimes being loyal has had its downfalls, but it is what it is. He passing through, show some love. Appreciate you showing the love, Ricky Steamboat. You know what I'm saying? Spread the love. Pro Wrest love. Hopefully this week we can hang out and eat some carnivores at Sweet Old Burrito. Cause that's the shit. I got hooked on Sweet Old Burrito. Like, I've had it a couple of times, but for those who don't know, Sweet Old Burrito is a Lucha Libre themed restaurant where there's numerous versions of burrito. And usually I get this one called the Buff Chick, where it's pretty much like, you know, chicken tenders, tots, pico de gallo, a sweet hot sauce. Man, it is so good. It is like ridiculously awesome. It's like, give me a drink to go with it with some fries. But yeah, man, that's how we do it, brother. We do it big. You know, we're gonna have fun and we're gonna enjoy life and we're gonna eat some burritos. You know, life's too short. Go to Sweet Old Burrito. If y'all have, any of y'all listening, if y'all have one in your town, hit it up. Hit them up. Because next time I'm bringing my belt in there and I'm wearing the luchador mask and I'm going to talk in like broken English. You know, say something retarded like Las Chicas Me Gusta Tambien. No, it's not called the Buff White Chick. It's just called the Buff Chick. You're thinking of just the white chick, which I don't even know why they call it that. Ain't that kind of borderline racist? I mean, I know they're saying white meat chicken, but, you know, when I think of the white chick, or even if it was called the Buff White Chick, it's like, what are y'all implying? Y'all in the Buff White Chicks? I mean, I did mention earlier I like fitness women. And I like that. You know what? I'll take that back. I like that post-competition fluff that they have, where they're like still built, but they're not all veiny in definition, and you like see veins on top of veins, and it look like they can just, you know, do some things to you, and you just lay there like whimpering as they're like on top taking advantage. They're like holding you down like, yeah, now you know how we feel. And you're just laying there like, you know. Not saying that I experienced that before. I mean, I wouldn't tell you guys even if I did. Maybe once. Oh my goodness. All right. So any more questions? Have we got anybody got a question to ask before, you know, I go on to the next segment and mention something? None? Going once? Going twice? All right, cool. So moving forward, the next episode will be aired next week. We don't know when next week, but expect it next week. Like I said earlier in the podcast, there is a contest going on in the month of June where you can win a random Mike Cook Guys t-shirt. It could be Cartoon Mike. It could be the MWO. It could be the club. Doesn't matter. Either way, we're still showing that club love. But all you have to do, like I said, is subscribe to the podcast. Be friends with me on Instagram. And obviously be Facebook friends because you're watching the live broadcast. And for those listening to the podcast, you also got to be subscribed on YouTube to the page, hashtag Mike Cook Guys Central. you know. Yeah, I would tell, I want people to, win free shit, you know. I know people are seeing that, but yeah, I want everybody to win free shit. And, July, I'm going to do another contest where if you win, you'll be on the episode live, and we'll give the rules for that. If you like to be on the live episode. If you're in the area, you can make it in person. If not, we'll just do like a live simulcast, So we're going to pretty much, do all those type of things, I'm trying to make it to where you get something out of watching the podcast other than laughing your butt off, getting amped up off my anger, or just learning something in general about me that most people didn't know before. That's just like the other day, people found out that, I speak a little fluent Japanese because the customers at my job, they speak it, and it cracks me up because they're like, I didn't know you speak it. And it's like, it's not like I can say it to your ass, and they crack me up when they show up because as soon as they see me, they be like, oh, Michael-san sugoi, Nihongo wakarimasen. Oh, sugoi. It's like they're cheerleaders in a way, but it's not that they're over-exaggerating. They're not that excited because, we respect their language. So I get it. I understand. It's what you call, feeling the love. Spreading that club love, Ooh, good old club love. That sounds like some type of disease. What's wrong, man? I got that club love, y'all. Ooh, it hurts. It itches. Club love. Or it could be a name of a cologne. He's smooth. He's swift. He's sharp. Club love. Okay, that was corny as hell. I'm sorry. Alrighty. Well, guys, it looks like since everyone's out of questions, we're going to be ending this podcast. So, I'm going to be signing off. See you next week on the episode 4. And yes, I'm a fool. I miss you guys too. I miss all you guys that I need to hang the crew. I miss my fans. I miss all of y'all. Keep this thing going because now like I said, season 6 is going to be once again the season that it should have been. So that being said, for all you people out there, enjoy, be safe, love one another. If you ain't doing your wife or husband, you should. And maybe that was a little too much saying that, but hey, these days people keep complaining and you're open about it on social media, so you can't be offended me pointing it out on this podcast because y'all probably done something that offended me at a past occurrence, and I threw it back on y'all. Enjoy. Goodbye and good night.